Hey guys, I just want to take a quick minute here and answer one of the most frequently asked questions that I receive from couples, and that is, if we are arguing and having conflict, are we just incompatible? So I want to normalize this for you, for any of you couples who are asking yourselves this question. Arguments and conflict really are completely normal in a relationship, especially if you're walking through a season that's pretty stressful in your life right now. What we find is that conflict, the presence or the absence of conflict, really isn't a long-term determinant of resiliency, but instead the greatest markers for long-term resiliency in a relationship is your ability to come back together and reconnect after a disconnecting moment has taken place. What's really fascinating about our arguments is that, and this is hard to believe, but that they're oftentimes just a plea for connection with our partner. It's just not working all that well for us. Our arguments also often take very similar shape and involve some of the same movements, regardless of what the subject matter is. So whether it's loading the dishwasher, walking the dog, finances, kids, you get the picture. The arguments often look the same. In fact, we call it a cycle or a dance in EFT because they're very repetitive. So for a couple who finds themselves stuck in this cycle or these arguments, our first steps in emotionally focused therapy would be to slow these arguments down, replay these cycles in session, and take a look at what the moves are in this cycle. And from there, I would be encouraging each partner to own their moves in the dance. And then from there, we would be taking a look to see what is the positive intent that each partner is going for when they're arguing and they're not able to connect or they're not able to communicate. So oftentimes, for example, one partner is really deeply longing for connection with their spouse. And then the other partner is oftentimes really deeply desiring to not be a disappointment or to avoid being a disappointment in the relationship. And when we get down to those deeper, clearer messages, we can work together to communicate and share those messages with between partners, from partner to partner. Now, these clearer messages are harder to find and they're definitely difficult to communicate. And our work together would be to continue practicing. This takes repetition. And so my job as a therapist would be to come alongside you and guide you through those conversations in the process. My name is Anna Lockhart, and I work for Red Therapy Group. I see clients in Nashville and in Franklin. And I specialize in using emotionally focused therapy with trauma, anxiety, depression, conflict, crisis, grief and loss, and so much more. I work with individuals, I work with premarital and married couples, and I also see families. Thanks so much for listening today.